Alrighty, thank you. Start.
Well, good afternoon. Some of this stuff is a little old. I missed the last two, so it's kind of like the important stuff I'm gonna be talking about. Emergency calls were down a little bit from last year. It only had 111 so far for the year. But the noteworthy incidents this last time we met was the fire at 188 Southwest. We had a great response with the 2 alarms. Had a great response. Every town around us came and participated and helped us, and investigators, extinguishment, and all that stuff. And I gotta say, the fire came in at 1 in the afternoon, and we were there with Chief Crotty right on our tail in under 3 minutes. So from the time we got the call, so that was pretty good.
It's a really good response.
Yeah, there were only 2 of us that arrived, and then plus Chief Crotty, so he was able to take the residents that were, you know, they were pretty animated and excited, as most people would be when the house is burning. And he was able to remove them from the situation for me to go, we get, you know, I get whatever information I needed from them, and then we proceeded to work, so. We made sure after the fire, we brought Red Cross in, there was a system with medications, housing, and anything that needed to be done, so they sat with them for 2 hours in the classroom at the station, and you know, now I've been dealing with the investigators and their insurance people since then, so. Nobody hurt, everything else could be replaced, so.
Yep.
Good.
I think if that fire's at 1 in the morning, there's a different result, in my opinion, but. We had another fire, smaller fire at Canterbury Shore, last month. That went pretty well. There was another daytime fire, started in some leaves on the outside, started raining up the porch, the side of the house, and we got that before it caused any major damage.
Very good.
Couple of carbon monoxide incidents with all the cold weather, end of the season heating, maybe, you know, maybe it's time to get heating things tuned up, but, we've been at 2 of them in the last month, 2 different carbon monoxide, and
2 more other than the other,
yeah,
these are different from the last ones you reported on, we
Yeah,
almost lost
yeah,
a family,
yeah.
right? Or
and
could
you
have.
know, if they didn't have carbon monoxide detectors, they wouldn't know they had a carbon monoxide incident, so, we're thankful that people do that. And, we went to a big brush fire in Belmont, we went to a structure fire in Loudon, and we were summoned to Deerfield for a brush fire, for their 5th alarm brush fire, so, you know, that's why I think it's important when other towns call us that we go, because when we call them, they came in mass, you know what I mean, so, and again, in Canterbury, there's only 2 of us on duty, so fire trucks don't fight fire, people do, so we needed a lot of fire trucks there to get a lot of people there to do what we needed to do.
Great.
Under the fire prevention tab, numerous inspections and fire drills, assembly occupancy inspections are taking place this month, and fire permits are required townwide. They can be done online. We encourage people to do it online, NewHampshireFirePermits.com. And actually, there's a link on our website, on the town's homepage. You can still come in the old-fashioned way and have us write you one too. There's no problem with that. Pancake breakfast went well. Thank you all for your support. And our newest member who we took in January, just got his completed his EMT training, and he's signed up for firefighter training this fall. So
Great.
things are moving on that. I've been working with the developers of Exit 18, a housing development, Hildreth Farm, we'll call it. Cistern has been installed, inspected, and it's not up and running yet, because it's not full, but it's there. They've involved us in every step of the process, so got a good relationship with the 2 general contractors, father and son team. So, and when they start pouring foundations, we'll be assigning numbers to E911. So when people call in the future, the numbers are in the database.
So Chief, a lot of people are asking that huge pile of dirt that was up front, was that from excavating the cisterns?
No,
No?
they stripped the loam off.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so they stripped the loam, right, John, so it's kinda, Jeremy Hiltz, the guy that's doing all these site work, I met him too, he's out of the Plymouth area, he's doing amazing work, absolutely amazing work, down there, so. They wanna get 2/3 of the buildings up before the end of this building season, so, yeah. And about the new engine, so I'm fresh off of a trip from Florida 2 weeks ago. We spent about 8 hours at the factory, meeting with the manufacturer and the people that are building it, and the people that, we came up with a punch list of about 14 different items, nothing major. So before the fire truck left Florida to come to Maine, they're taking care of those punch list items, and as far as I know, it's not on the road yet to coming to Maine, so, but I expect it any day. To be able to Maine, and I say Maine, Maine's our local dealer, And that's what we're gonna be dealing with, the mounting tools and striping it, putting the finishing touches on it. In Brunswick, maybe about an hour and a half from here. So it went really well. We're in the process with my officers of redefining the run card, because right now I have it slanted. I don't really roll engine 3 unless we kind of really need it, because every time we start it, it costs me money. So, you know, it's 30 years old, right? And it served the town well, so, but it's not gonna be that way when the new engine comes. You're gonna see both the current engine and the new engine at different things in town, so I'm working on revamping that run card. We're hosting during EMS week, New Hampshire CPR Challenge tomorrow at the municipal complex, 11 to 12. Pre-registration is recommended. You can walk in, we can take up to 30 people. Right now, I believe there's 18 signed up for that course. I'll be teaching that. Basically, it's CPR. It's not, you're not gonna get CPR certified, but you gotta know what to do if somebody drops in front of you. So it's a statewide effort to,
That's me being terrified if somebody drops in front of me.
it's a statewide effort in many communities, not all, but a lot of communities are on board with this, so.
Okay, great.
Pushed by the governor and executive council, so we figured we'd hop on that, so. The current engine too, it's 10 years old, it's still in great shape, it's gonna last us a lot longer, but we've had significant repairs in the last couple of weeks. But everything that's being repaired is a wear item, a couple grand, $3,000, you know what I mean, but it's right in my budget, so, not unexpected. We're helping the elementary school with the parade on Friday. The Smoky sign, I don't know if you saw it, it didn't survive the winter, so I decided to take a different route this time and go to a sign company and actually kind of have them do it.
Thank you, I keep meaning to say how good it, because
Yeah,
Sam
so
has
just
brought my attention to it.
Herb and I did the
Yeah.
last one, A for effort, we should stay out of the sign business, just remind us in the future. So, we put like 100 coaches for laughing, this thing ain't gonna go, this thing is fine, and it didn't last the winter. So we
Thank
went
you,
through
he
a
looks
sign-
very
and,
good.
It should comfortably last, 8 to 10 years before we get it.
Okay, good, thank you.
We're in the process of upgrading our forestry, with some toolboxes, that's being converted tonight by the members coming in. Still working on upgrading the EOC project, the Emergency Operations Center, I'm working with Chief Crotty on that, that's kind of like a back burner thing, but something that we wanna get done probably, within a year timeframe. Fire radio switch over, did a couple years ago, I got the radio grant, I think we're all set, I got everything programmed, everything's good, and then they changed the radios on me as far as, just the new console at dispatch, so we had to kind of go in and change everything we own. Not a big deal, but, one of our members, Ricky Bellotho, most departments, it's costing them $2,500 to send their radios out and come back, and Rick came in and did it all for nothing.
Oh,
And
that
he
sounds
reprogrammed
nice.
the original one, so he's a member of our department, and,
Very lucky
he worked
to
for us,
have him.
and we're very
Yeah.
lucky to have him, yeah.
Great.
And even me offering to pay him, because I have money in the budget too, then he refused, so, it's good to have. We're working this week, the next couple of weeks to get the safety, signs and safety equipment along the river at the beach access points. That'll be done probably by the end of the month. The new command car that's coming to me and my car going to the rescue, August, expected delivery, mid to late August from Grapponi. I purchased the extrication equipment, I've been working on that since Christmas, I'm talking with different vendors and seeing what was best for the town, we picked Omatro. The warrant article was 50 grand, I spent just about all of it on it. NASCAR is coming in, the weekend of August 21st to the 23rd in Loudon this year, so we'll be participating in that. I have an organizational meeting next week on that, the 1st of May. And this Thursday night, we're hosting all the chiefs from the compact area, 30 chiefs, for our monthly meeting here in Canterbury. So if you go by on Thursday and there's 50 cars in the parking lot, that's what we're doing, we're hosting the chiefs meeting. That's all I have, any questions?
Yes, does the warnings that you put out include is that the cold water warnings, do you have those signs up?
No, it's actually, these signs were made before I arrived, Chief Doherty was involved in that. When we had 3 drownings over the course of 2 summers, because people were calling, they didn't know where they were calling from, so it says their
Oh, the
location.
signs that have the
They're
location
that long
and
and be
everything, okay.
careful swimming, and we throw a couple life rings and some throw ropes out there, so,
Right,
yeah.
in June, do you still need the cold water warnings?
Well, we put them out at the beginning of the season, we take them out at the end of the season because of the ice. People generally are swimming now, but it's not, you're
'Cause I
not
keep getting
surprised if you see
alarms,
some young
yeah.
teenagers kind of in the water this time of year, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
people generally are swimming now, but we're gonna get them up before swimming season.
okay.
Yeah.
And do you want me to rerun a carbon monoxide warning in the newsletter for people, just to let people know?
I put something brief this month.
you?
I don't
I
know
haven't
what it
checked.
was.
I haven't looked
I
yet,
put something
so-
brief, but anytime you can put that plug in, just to remind people and.
And
you
it's
know,
okay to say we've had several instances in
Yeah, we've
town?
had several instances and, you know, if they need
Okay.
help evaluating theirs or installing, give us a call.
Alright, I'll make sure to rerun that. Alright,
Cool. Any questions? You all set?
Nope.
no,
Great.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Two.
Thank you, sir. Ooh, let's see who's speeding.
Start with the stats of last month, we had 8 incidents, 1 arrest, 85 citations, and 421 calls for service. I did meet with State Police Lieutenant last week, they are no longer providing the calls that they respond for us, for anybody, not just us.
I mean, they may respond, but they're not gonna tell you that they did? Is that what the,
So we used to get an email saying, hey, we responded to, they used to send, it was basically their log for the month, and we'd have to go through and find which ones were in Canterbury.
Yeah.
They're no longer providing that, so we
why?
don't know what they respond to.
Why are they not doing that?
It was something from their higher ups that they're not allowed to anymore. I don't know the reasoning behind it.
Isn't it helpful for us to know?
It is, it's very helpful.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I understood what was going on.
I can look into it and see if we can find a way to get them, but it's not gonna be a monthly thing, it's gonna be when you need it type thing.
Yeah, huh,
I honestly, I don't know why, they used to provide it to everybody, now they won't provide it to anybody.
I mean, if we can get that, wouldn't it,
Yeah, we used
it
to
would
have it,
help,
we used
it
to
would
say
help
state,
you,
state,
wouldn't it, to
state
know
police
what they're
came
responding
yeah.
to?
So,
Okay,
but yeah, I've told that they're no longer providing that, so. The other information is just the classes that we've had, that we got coming up that you already know about. I'll be coming in Friday for the parade and possibly Monday, but I don't think they're having a parade Monday now.
no, because we don't have the band.
Right,
So
so,
they're
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna meet it.
I gotta check with, Ms. Baker and find out
Yeah.
if they need us or not for Monday.
Okay.
So, the next pages are locations that we had the speed data analysis. So the first one I believe is New Road. Is that New and Picard Road in that
Yeah.
area?
Yeah.
1,700 vehicles in the week, only
Really?
4% enforceable, but the fastest speed was 63, which is pretty fast on New Road.
Yes, it is.
That was like 71 miles on, what was on Baptist Hill, it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, and for enforceable violations, we set it at 10 miles an hour or so, that's
Yeah,
40 and above is the, so 69 people were going 40 and above. Alright, the next one's Asby Road, and again, 66 on Asby is unbelievable, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know how they got that high, and that was actually on a Sunday afternoon. And it only happened once, it wasn't consistent.
right,
We set the tolerance for that road at 6 over, just because of the horses and the kids and stuff. There's only 25 enforceable violations in the course of a week, so not horrible. And it wasn't consistent, it wasn't the same time every day, so nothing that we can really sit over there at certain times on.
But those are really just.
Yeah, they're very high speeds,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of, it's not a consistent speed that I can sit there and say, alright, we need to be over there at this date, this
Right,
time,
right, yeah.
to really enforce it.
but how about New Road, where that wasn't consistent
It wasn't
either?
consistent, no, if you look,
That's
it's
a
only.
lot of traffic, a lot more than I would
A
have,
lot more than I thought too. I didn't think New Road had many vehicles going down it throughout the week, but
good to know though.
your average speed was 32 on New Road and 24 on Asby, so all in all, not horrible.
Right.
Wow. So this device is already, seems to be paying for
It's
itself.
giving me good
Good
data, yeah.
information,
And we did
yeah.
get the reimbursement back today,
Good,
so
that's great.
it's been paid for.
Wow, okay, thank you.
How goes our search for a new police officer?
No, we're currently doing the background, so
Very good.
hopefully it works out.
Yep, that's.
You had 2 candidates
Just gonna
when
say.
last we talked, right? Are you still have 2 or just 1?
sure you'd be willing to talk about a second.
Yeah, well,
Alright,
I have the contract here,
Yup,
reformatted for your request.
yup,
It's just the pay section that was the compensation that
Yep.
was reformatted, bullet pointed.
oh,
as
thank
we
you.
discussed, yup, yup.
So it's ready for your signature. I have 2 copies, one for you and one for the chief if you wanna sign it now.
Looks good to me.
I'm sorry, there are no blue sticky notes there to tell us where to sign, this contract is not complete.
Sorry.
you know, a line with your name on it.
Can't sign it without the blue sticky note?
I failed to talk to my administrative assistant about the sticky notes.
Alright, well, we'll make do.
There goes my raise.
Make do.
We set their standards too high.
Yeah,
You've spoiled us, that's the problem, we're just spoiled.
Alright, there's that. Yup.
Sean has a question.
John?
Are you gonna be opening the gate at Lois Lane or
It's open,
it's open now?
it's open.
It's open all the time?
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
you talking about the Riverland Beach? Yeah, we had to cut it off.
They had the combination wouldn't work anymore. They
Oh,
couldn't turn the dials,
Rusty?
Yep.
so they cut it off.
Oh,
There was a guy down there that fishes. Yeah, there was a guy
I
that,
haven't been
Yeah,
down there.
there's a guy called on Friday and he runs a fly fishing, training class.
yeah,
He went down there last
Big guy
year
that
and
you
called,
across
he wanted to go down this year.
Oh,
So
cool.
the police department went down.
I sent Jordan down, he was trying to use a screwdriver and a knife to spin the dials, it wouldn't spin, so he called me a drill and I said, cut it off. I said, we're opening it next weekend anyway, I said,
Yeah.
cut it off and we'll work on getting a new
Yeah,
one.
we'll work, right, we'll get a new one. Ken, was it Nick by any chance that, the fly fishing instructor?
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Okay, I'm just curious, cause,
Cicarello or something like that.
no, this is Nick Prue, is the
No, it wasn't,
instructor that I,
that wasn't.
yeah, really good, fly tire and fly fishing instructor.
I think this guy's from Candia.
Oh, no kidding,
Yeah.
okay.
One of yours and, yep.
alright, we're
Alright,
official
okay,
now, you're
guys.
still our chief?
Another 5 years.
Thank you.
Thanks, chief. Good night,
You
stay
too.
safe.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Sam?
Not keeping track of this, but those.
You should have a tax warrant
Yup.
in your sign file, so that'll bring us
Alright,
up.
sorry.
It's in the red.
In the
It's
red, sorry.
The big clip.
In this one.
So, $100,000 of outstanding taxes isn't bad for.
There it is.
And having two people on the deed list isn't bad.
No,
Okay.
Okay.
Christy Simberry came in and made a payment,
Huh?
obviously she didn't
Okay.
pay off the lien entirely.
Yeah.
So, we're getting research probably on Thursday, and lien notices are going out on Thursday, or deed notices are going out on Thursday.
Yep.
Say,
Okay.
this is it, so.
Yeah.
She got some month to respond. So I'll be in on the third week in June
Yep,
for our meeting and find out what your pleasure is to
and we'll
move
talk.
forward, if we still have a lien by then,
Sam, do you wanna take this with you?
that's okay,
Okay.
whatever you wanna do.
I mean, certainly, say, let's sign it now.
If we're here and Sam's here and the Kens are here,
Ken, do we need a motion on this?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I will make a motion that we sign the tax manifest in the amount of $4,181,298.
so moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yikes. I'm not gonna sit here and read this, no?
lot of proof in that.
Well, I might have a couple hours ago, but not now.
Nothing from Beulah, I'm assuming.
Nothing from Beulah besides the
Yeah, the
current use.
What we talked about, right?
Yeah, yeah, so they have not made any payments and they have not contacted me,
Okay.
so.
Alright,
The LHS, who's our
Uh-huh.
vendor for voting machine,
yep,
came in and did a demonstration to work on poll pads, which are like an electronic paperless checklist.
Okay.
okay.
So that's coming down the pike, I've got more information about that, and hopefully by
Oh, wait a minute, is there another spot? No, just one.
next meeting we'll have more information about that.
Okay, very good.
So those work like you scan your license like you would
You
like.
can scan your license, you can look them up manually, it's still the checklist person is checking you in,
Right.
but it's now a paperless checklist,
So you don't have like real ID to.
No.
Any license would
any
work.
license.
Okay.
You still have to present your license, that's not
Right,
changing.
right. I didn't
But
know
you
if
can
they-
also enter it manually, so if you don't
So
wanna provide your
I'm sorry,
license.
I was talking about something else, but this is for when we do,
Paperless checklist
oh, for everybody,
for everybody.
from now on,
No, not yet, cause we haven't procured the,
okay,
but it's coming down the pike.
okay,
I had a demonstration with LHS, Pam Smarling and I, and we're getting quotes and getting more information. It's still conditional approval from the state, so we gotta go through the Secretary of State's office before we can get approval to purchase it. But there's a $3,500 credit that the Secretary of State's office will give us towards the device. So we're
Okay.
trying to access that credit to buy the devices.
Yep.
and is there any conversation yet on what happens if you're voting and the machine goes kablooey and you can't? Are we
Just gotta
still
keep
printing
right-
out the,
Right now, we still have a paper checklist, we're
Okay.
gonna be doing them in
just in
tandem.
case,
Yeah.
okay,
The law does not allow us to have just the electronic checklist, we still got a paper checklist.
I think that makes
So,
good sense. Okay, thank you.
Alright,
To be,
To be continued.
yes,
yeah, always. Thanks, Sam.
thank you.
Okay,
Good night.
thanks Sam.
Thank you.
Wow.
Hi, John.
It's like I'm last
It looks like you're
You're
it.
Well, we had a little mishap at the dump, we'll start with that.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
Bobcat backing out of the trailer, a car showed up and parked behind him. He no longer has a passenger door behind the driver's seat,
The Bobcat or the car?
the car. Nothing wrong with the Bobcat.
Bobcats usually windows.
That
Yeah. So-
person okay, He wasn't sticking his leg out or anything, we would have heard about that,
No,
okay,
he's fine.
good,
Yeah. So we've added another barricade to stop traffic from the upper side at the
Oh.
lower loading dock.
Did he come in the backwards, do you
No,
think?
no,
Okay.
he came in the regular way.
Okay.
And now the gate at the salt shed has been fixed. I should actually close that when I go home.
Yep.
We had shipped paper and we're shipping cardboard tomorrow,
Good.
weather holds.
Where to, John?
I don't know where it's going,
Okay, just
but they're
curious.
paying 85 a ton,
Okay.
so we're
oh,
looking
they're
at,
paying us for a change?
yeah, and no trucking fee, so we should see like 1,700.
Oh,
Great.
that's nice,
It helps.
The Packer has meandered its way down to Merrimack for its outfitting.
ooh. Holiday,
Yeah. Are the flippers coming off?
We will eventually get those, yeah.
Okay.
what does that mean?
The flippers are the two things on the back of the garbage truck that are kind of preventing it from coming up, and their purpose is to take a garbage can and flip it
Oh, okay,
so that it empties.
that they're doing curbside pickup,
Correct.
but we don't have
Yeah,
that,
but we
okay,
don't-
got it,
We don't need it.
right, okay,
Paving was done. I still need to back up shoulders. The truck that runs that machine is down in Manchester.
Mhm.
They finally got it to act up for them. The oil pressure goes to 0. They don't know how to fix it yet.
oh, jeez,
And this new truck, is plumbed all the way to the back, so we could set it up for that machine also. We match up fittings and stuff.
Yeah.
And speaking of the new truck that showed up, and then it left, they forgot the headboard on the sander, and it returned today. So, they've got more miles than we certainly have so far. Obviously, the roads are showing their wear, they need their second round, getting a few phone calls. And some of the roads haven't got their first round yet. We passed the CDL on the first try, kudos.
Nice,
Yay.
So we can start using a larger truck now.
very good. Congratulations.
The leaf pickup at Maple Grove was done in the mowing for Mother's Day, and now we're working on Memorial Day.
Yep.
Stuff. We did a little training class on dirt road maintenance last Thursday.
And how'd that go?
Wasn't too bad, we didn't get out on the road due to the heavy rain all day. We would have brought us out to watch them wash away, but. The major complaints in the class seem to be more, the type of gravel available. No one's happy with what they're using right now. Calcium chloride is not becoming the choice of dust control. They're putting down magnesium chloride. Some are spraying, some are using a sander and putting down the flakes. But I know Loudon does that, and it's quite expensive.
Just out of curiosity, what does any of the environmental people say about throwing magnesium chloride on the roads? Do they weigh in on it?
I don't have anything.
Huh.
To use the magnesium, you need to get certified.
Calcium it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have to switch to magnesium? Is that like recommended or you?
No, that's just what they're using.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've got.
That's a long list.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things
Yep.
to talk about while John's here. One is the slide-in water tank.
Yep.
We had a warrant article for $18,000. The last quote that we got from them was in September of 2025. John talked to the vendor first of the year, but there was no mention of a price increase at that time, and it was a phone conversation. The price now is $21,000. We have money in our SB2 restricted fund. This is a highway block grant, additional money that came through from the state a couple of years ago. We still have $23,000 in that account, so we have money to pay the balance of that, if you guys approve that.
Certainly to me makes sense.
We still need that
Yeah.
piece of equipment.
Yeah, as we've discussed, I think that's really an essential piece of equipment for a dirt road maintenance.
The one that he quoted us went to 27,000. So he's gone to a different vendor.
Yeah.
What is it now? So now it's,
21,000.
Alright, so-
22,000.
it went way up and then he got it down a little bit.
No, the one that he originally quoted us went to.
Company, the brand,
The
Oh.
brand went to 27, so
Yeah.
he found another brand
Okay.
that he likes better.
Oh,
Oh, good.
okay, well,
Hope that's, yeah.
talking about the Packer.
Yeah.
The hydraulic pump is being put on it down in Merrimack. We still have to get the electrical, connection done. The hydraulic pump is a 50 horsepower hydraulic pump that requires 3-phase. We don't have 3-phase up there, so we're gonna need to get a variable speed drive. Electrician is getting quotes now for the work, so, texted him this afternoon and haven't heard back if he was talking to a supplier, last Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
And, cause we got the specs last Thursday,
Yeah.
so.
So I assume that means if we're running can we run the compactor and
The baler and the
Yeah.
truck, I don't know, that's a question for the electrician.
Yeah.
He looked at it, he went up there, looked at the
Yeah.
building, looked at the panel, he said it's no problem putting one in.
Okay,
But we'll have to figure that out if we can
Yeah.
run the baler or the
Yeah,
truck.
that's- right, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah,
I think Unitil has said that we should only run one at a time.
That was when we were talking about the big compactor, that was
Yeah.
their preference. Operationally, I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah.
The only time it's really gonna operate is when you're running the packer truck itself, compacting the
Oh,
trash.
that's a good point, actually, I hadn't thought of it.
So just at idle, it's not gonna be doing anything.
Right, right, it'll
So,
just be, yeah,
but if they're running the baler with the staffing up there, then it's not like they're gonna be running the baler and running the truck. And they're not bailing during open hours anyway,
Right,
so
right.
it shouldn't be a problem.
okay, good.
what happens, since I do not understand this delicate dance, if you accidentally do run them both at the same time?
My guess is it would pop the breaker would.
So it's not gonna blow anything up, it's just gonna pop the breaker and stop working, or,
They were worried we were gonna cook the lines down to the center.
That was,
Oh, okay.
yeah, they were more worried about the breakers on the poles than
Okay.
anything else, yeah.
is there,
We put a drawer on it, might, if it didn't trip the breaker in the building, it would probably trip a breaker on one of the poles.
is there a way that we can put some sort of fail-safe a little closer to the building, just in case? Is that necessary or even doable?
Don't.
I think that's probably a discussion with the electrician.
Yeah,
Electrician and maybe Unitil get them
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
so we,
But I, again, operationally, I don't see how it could. We can do it. Have a
yes,
pretty good-
that's
Have a
what,
pretty good training on it.
yeah,
Nothing that's foolproof unless
Yeah.
you put some kind of protection on it, but
Right.
I think given the staffing up there, I don't see how we'd end up doing that at this
Okay.
point.
Even when we're bailing, we usually don't have the packer on to
Right.
even cycle it.
Yeah.
okay. And do we have somebody for mowing?
No, we have an ad,
Okay.
there's an ad out, for advertising for that position.
I did get an earful this morning from Doug Stone, who was putting the flags out in the center, he's like, well, doesn't seem like we've mowed.
They'll be here mowing in the next 2 days.
I was like, we're doing what we can, don't worry about it. Thank you for putting out the flags.
I think that's all I have.
Okay,
Alright, thanks, John.
thank you, sir.
Alright. What do you think, Ken, wanna sign?
Yeah.
Alright, so the first item I've got is a accounts payable manifest in the amount of $29,708.77.
Ooh, so moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye. Junkets, thank you.
Good night, John.
While Calvin's signing, is it Bee Day on Wednesday? National Bee Day?
Maybe?
I didn't take out my national random holiday calendar this year.
Yeah, or afraid I don't know the answer to that.
World Bee Day.
Well, then I'll wear something appropriate.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that you know.
Tuxedo.
Blue
Alright,
and yellow striped.
right. Next item is a payroll manifest in the amount of $56,484.45.
So moved.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And we've already done the tax warrant.
Or resounding, whatever that was, 15 million.
Thank you. Alright, next item is a timber tax warrant for tax map 245-002.
With a tax levy?
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. It looks like two places to sign.
Never heard of that. It's an interesting name. Oh, did I sign the second place?
You did.
Okay,
It's got a blue sticky note.
okay, very good to know. I know, it's the blue sticky notes that are
Thank you.
important. Could have invalidated the whole contract without it.
Alright, next is a tax abatement for 188 Southwest Road, which is the structure that burned
Yes.
back in April. So I'll certainly let you both read Mandy's explanation, but it burned 6 days after the April 1st assessment date. And it looks like Mandy initially had some difficulty getting a hold of the taxpayer, but she did eventually make contact. So Mandy is recommending that we sign this abatement. It's the adjusted assessment for the structure goes to $3,769 from $229,300. So,
Basically just the lot, right?
yeah. Do we need a motion or we just sign?
For an abatement, you should have a motion.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we grant this abatement.
I would second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So how long does the structure stand if it's a
Good one.
total loss? Is there a rule or so it can stand for?
Unless it's deemed a
Public.
danger,
nuisance.
public nuisance, danger to the public, something like that. If the code enforcement officer says it needs to come down,
Okay,
then it has to come down.
but not it could just sit like that for 30 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't hardly seem right that can be, but that's that saying, we've had the same discussion about that house on Old Tilton.
Yeah. Thank you.
So,
Alright, next is a leave request from our town administrator.
no,
He wants to take vacation from 6/1 to 6/5.
no,
Good for you.
And I will be missing a board of selectmen's meeting on the
I
first.
think we'll be okay.
okay.
Should we push the meeting?
No, who knows what we could,
Hate to
what
leave,
what we could do.
I hope you're going fishing or
Yeah.
good for you
Yeah.
We got north to go fishing
with
with Don
I
DeAngelis.
was just gonna ask, good for you, give him my regards,
I will.
please.
Well, I
I
hope you
have
have
not
water
seen-
this year, didn't you try to go fishing last year and there was like no water?
Last fall, there was no water, we couldn't get the boat in the water, so we had to cancel the trip.
Well, here you go.
Well, I hope it works out better, it's been a normal spring, so.
Yes.
Although the black flies are now out of the
Yes,
line.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
gosh, they're miserable.
Yeah. Doing some trail maintenance yesterday and.
Oh, it's just brutal this year. I've split wood for the last several days, as I mentioned to you, and they were just all over me. Good.
Yeah.
Too.
Enjoy.
And I did clear this with my staff first, just so you know.
The real
I
side.
We know,
my
we
Exactly.
know.
Yep. Alright, next item is an interfund transfer from the operating account to two different public safety revolving accounts. And this is I believe, both revolving accounts that were approved at town meeting this year.
Correct.
So, yeah,
Oh, those are the revolving accounts.
correct.
Okay.
So I assume we're just signing.
Yes.
Yeah, since it was all approved and
Voted and everything.
exactly. Thank you.
Is that?
Alright, next one is an interfund transfer from two of the highway truck capital reserve accounts into our operating account to pay for the new dump truck that was approved per warrant article 12. So it's $247,655 for the truck and an extended warranty for $1,247.
That warranty is on the transmission and it goes from the factory of 6 months to 7 years.
Okay, good.
We haven't encompassed any of our other vehicles. Seem to like to break down at regular intervals. Is the truck that John was talking about where they finally got it to act up with the oil pressure down at the shop, the truck that had the oil leak? Is that the same truck? Or a
What's
different
down
oil
there now
problem?
is the one we just spent $14,000 to repair.
Yeah.
That's back down in the
Yep. Thank you. Alright, so why don't we go next to minutes? So why don't we start with the May 4th, 2026 public portion?
There's only one non-grammatical change suggested on line 79. It says, Mr. McGill submitted a letter summarizing how the tax bill should be changed. Just changing that to Mr. McGill spoke about, submitted a letter summarizing how he feels the tax bill should be changed. So just clarifying that it was
Understood,
his suggestion.
okay.
That's it.
Anybody else got anything else?
No.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
That was, excuse me, that was, which date?
May 4th.
Oh, okay, and we have another one for May 8th,
We
correct?
do indeed.
Okay.
Yep,
I'm good with the 4th,
okay.
thank
Is
you.
that a second one?
Yes, it's a second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Alright, so why don't we go next actually to the non-public session, since that was also on May 4th. We should each have a
Oh.
copy.
Got one of these.
No, I hadn't had the opportunity, so we'll just take a minute. Cal, do you want the spellings?
Yes,
57.
Yep.
Matter?
Matter, not meter.
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, that's the only one that I saw. And I don't have anything else, so.
You missed the one that Ken found.
Oh, okay. What was that?
Line 30, catch up should have, space.
Oh, see, it does have that.
I have a space.
Really?
Yes,
Yes. Catch up,
yeah,
not
two words.
ketchup.
Today.
Or a hyphen.
No, there was no space, the
Yeah,
first
there
one,
is.
Ah,
it was
we have a space.
like one word.
Fixed it.
Maybe, yeah, cause
Printing
this,
your copies.
yeah.
Oops.
It's all good.
The only comment I would make is on line 65 and 66 is the difference between what the select board proposed and what Justin countered with. The amount that is mentioned here, is that the proposal or the countering? Or I'm just not reading it well.
The extra proposed was the counter. So he countered with,
The extra,
yeah,
okay. Is that clear to everybody?
I see your issue. And I guess that would be the only thing I would add is that the extra is countered by the chief.
I would, the only thing is that, like, the difference between what the select board proposed is. How would you,
I can figure out how to rephrase that.
just so that
So that it's
that
more
amount
clear.
is what the counter is, and that's it, otherwise it seems fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Calvin, anything from you? No. Okay, alright, then I'll make a motion, as amended.
I would second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And if you would pass it in,
Here they are.
thank you. Alright, that brings us to the May 8th, 2026 meeting.
I didn't send you any changes, Cal, but, because I forgot to read these, but on line 45, the only thing I would say is that it just says during the 2021 town meeting period. I would just add when there was, much discussion about the town administrator's salary. That's why it's important that this was mentioned at the 2021 town meeting.
Well, it says that up on line 16.
Okay,
Okay,
does it? Alright, I'm sure it does.
do you want,
Yeah, do you have a copy there? Thank you.
Cool. I'm looking, no,
I see
actually,
it.
yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah, by the time I got down to line 45, it just seemed a long way from that. For 2021 town meeting, okay, no, that's fine then.
okay.
Then I had nothing else.
alright, then Calvin, assuming you have,
I'm good.
good, okay, then I'll move them. Are you suggesting that,
I think they're fine,
okay, very good, so
I'm
I'll
suggesting
move
they're
the
fine.
minutes.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright, and I'll give that back.
Thank you again, Cal, for another excellent sets of minutes.
Absolutely. Alright, I think that brings us, Ken, to new business.
Yes.
We've talked about some of it already, right? Sliding water tank, I think we're through.
Yep.
That
To
brings us,
policies.
yep,
So, our auditors asked that we, talk through some of these policies they felt the town should have. These are some of them. The first one is fraud and corruption prevention. Looked around, found some policies, did some wordsmithing, sent you this policy. There's nothing on here. Cal and I went back and forth a couple times on these and made a few changes, but I didn't think there was anything on here on this one that we need to discuss.
I don't think so.
Unless you guys have some questions about it.
Nope.
Only that I'm not sure how this works. I'd have to sit and read it through a couple more times. I mean, it defines, of course, what the fraud or the corruption is,
Mhm.
and that management is responsible for detecting, but it doesn't really seem to me, and they're responsible for taking appropriate actions, all that makes sense, but it doesn't really, to me, say how that's supposed to work. And
Well,
if this
you
policy is
Follow down
supposed to do
on the
that.
procedures, on the responsibilities, it lists the
Yeah.
responsibilities and the procedures. We have
Active
internal
good
controls,
standing, yeah.
policies and procedures to deter, prevent, detect corruption. We do background
yeah, that all makes sense.
investigations. When we hire a contractor or vendor, we make sure they're in good standing. And then any contractual agreements with town for any capital projects contain a provision for preventing fraudulent behavior.
I think it was just the first point that I wasn't sure, do we have to refer to what those, cause it refers to other policies to deter, prevent and detect fraud, I mean, where did those policies exist?
You don't have to spell out where those policies exist, only that they do.
Okay,
And, I mean, some of our internal controls is when we create a accounts payable manifest. Mary does the accounts payable manifest, it comes to me for review, then it goes to you guys, that's one of our internal controls
okay,
for preventing fraud. So that's, instead of trying to list that here, all the steps we go through to prevent,
right.
that's kind of what this does.
I guess I didn't need, and I'm assuming since you didn't do it that way, that the auditor, and that this policy doesn't require you to say what your internal controls are, just that you have them.
We will give this, once you guys approve it, we'll give it to I didn't send this policy to the auditors, for their approval.
I mean, they could look at that and say, well, what does that mean, and.
They could,
Okay.
they could,
But if they're good with
but
it,
if they're good with it, then
okay,
I think my hope would be that they would look at this, I think it's fairly comprehensive. So we're not gonna recreate the wheel, we look for other policies from different
Yeah.
other municipalities. And this is where this came from, was I kinda shopped around and looked at different policies, and this was one that we wordsmithed it to fit Canterbury.
that was really the only bullet point that I didn't know.
Okay.
If we needed to be more specific about what our internal controls, but everything else seems, contractual agreements, vendors, blah, 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 all that. So that all makes sense.
And again, this is a living document, and if we find that we're missing out on something, or there's a recommendation to change it or something like that, then we can do that.
I actually did have one other thing for procedures. We talked about this a little bit, is do we have like a procurement procedure, like, what is our procedure for getting bids for a job, so
So
we just don't give it to somebody we like.
we do not have any policy on competitive bidding. We've never had a policy on that. Typically, I ask the department heads if we're going out for something more than $10,000, we get at least 2 bids, unless it's some kind of specialty item that one manufacturer makes or something.
Right.
But like the fire truck, the fire chief had 3 or 4 or 5 different companies come in and I think, again, if you wanted to come up with a procurement policy that talks about competitive bidding over a certain amount, then we could do that. Other municipalities have those.
The only reason I ask is that it seems to be kind of in the how to put this delicately, in the forefront of the news about certain, contracts at a national level being awarded perhaps less than, with less care than one might. So I didn't know if that would come under fraud,
No.
like if somebody in the
Well,
town decided to give
if-
a contract for a new
If
building
we
to a
had a
friend.
policy that required competitive bidding and someone didn't do that, then that would be a
Then that would.
violation of that policy and this policy.
Okay.
If that's what we had.
Does anybody else think we need, procurement?
Maybe, you know, it might be something to talk about.
I mean, especially if we have anything like, say, a new roof on the municipal center, that could be $200,000. Or solar panels, or, I don't know, I can think of any number of things that the town may want to do that would be big ticket items.
I can work on that, yeah.
Yeah,
Calvin, what do you think?
I think it's hard enough to get anybody to bid on anything.
I know.
That is one of the issues.
That's a problem, but, you know,
there's that end of it too. It's a real thing.
But I think the policy would have to be able to address that, you know,
Yeah,
if you said we've advertised and we only got one person to bid, then
that's
how
it.
can you do any better than that?
And,
right.
but I think we've had, you know, even with little things like, you know, the work on the bandstand, you know, we get pushback from people who say, well, how many people did you send it out to bid or whatever? That little part of it, I think to me would be important to
Okay.
to look at.
So I'll work on that.
Okay, thank you. I think it just
Are
kind
you
of
guys-
protects us.
Are you okay with this policy here then, the way it is, or do you wanna?
I think so, but does something like that need to be, go with this, or,
No, it's gonna be separate policy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Extend
It would be
on.
part of that, the town has established internal controls, policies and procedures.
okay,
You know.
alright, then
Yeah,
it doesn't have to
that makes sense.
refer that we have a bidding thing, then I would
Right.
say that this is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and I looked at this when it was sent out and first of all, I think it's a good idea, but second of all, this in particular, I think it's good, so.
Well, and as you say, it's a living document, if we
Yep.
sit with it for a while and
Sure.
find that we need to change it, there's no time, it's like we can change it
Agreed,
in a meeting,
yeah, yes, we can.
then I would say yes.
Calvin?
I'm good.
Okay. Alright,
Right, I have a clean one here if you'd like to sign it.
alright. Under.
Alright, policy one.
Back at you, signed. Alright, so I think that brings us to the fund balance
Yes.
policy then?
And this one, has some, highlighted sections in it as far as editing, questions on the second page.
And I didn't understand who was well, I know yellow is question, but who added the gray?
I did.
Oh, that's you,
I did.
okay,
Cal had,
Yellow.
yeah, that's what I figured.
we went, again, I drafted it, sent it to Cal, went back and forth, and then, so I added some questions or some
Yeah.
answers to the questions.
Yeah,
So the one is, should we include DRA's definition of the fund balance? And again, we can add definitions under the fund balance. I don't know if DRA has a good definition.
I was just gonna ask that.
What that
Yes.
So we'll have to research that,
Yeah,
to find out.
it might be less helpful than more, depending on what their
Well, right,
definition
right.
is.
And then should we discuss the tax rate setting process? I don't think so, I think,
As you
I
say,
think
that
they-
changes.
unfortunately, we have, I guess their tax rate setting process is the same, it's consistent, but sometimes we get different messages from DRA on what
Yep.
we need to do and what we don't. So I think we were just, my suggestion would be just, let's refer to the recommendations.
I agree. Because as we all know, we've got different, I'm gonna call them interpretations.
Correct.
And
That would be my thought, and
Do we need to put any sort of time on that, like, let's refer to the, the current year's recommendations or
No,
just
I think just,
whatever, alright,
refer to their recommendation.
alright,
And
Yeah,
then
the
in the town report, we use unreserved and unassigned interchangeably, should we not, and I said, probably not, let's try and be consistent in the future, use unassigned.
consistency is lovely.
Agreed on that one as well.
Alright, so we'll look into, the first one
definition,
and
yeah.
try and come up with some kind of.
I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
if they have one, I
If they
think it would make for interesting reading, I'll tell you that.
Interesting and surprising, okay,
Okay.
then we're set with that
So
for the
that
moment.
one's a work in progress.
Work in progress,
Yep,
to be
sounds
determined,
good.
Yes,
town
Alright,
officials
so-
resignation policy.
and then this one, and this one is, there isn't different color codes, but there's some strike throughs, because I just did a word in the review. And then, the notice must be delivered to the town clerk or the chair of the select board or the chair of the board, committee, commission they serve on. So that was highlighted because there was a question on whether, and I thought that was okay.
Yeah.
I think that is good, that the notice goes to either the town clerk or the board of select chair, or the chair of the board or committee, commission they serve on.
Yeah,
So it gives somebody an option of who they're gonna give their resignation to.
Yep.
And then the effective date, unless otherwise stated, the resignation becomes effective upon receipt.
Yep.
If a future date is specified, the official remains in office until that date. And then Cal asked, or a future date may not be specified,
in which case it's immediate,
in case that's immediate.
okay,
I can see both reasons why you'd wanna have a second in there. But at the same time, I look at it and say, well, somebody may say, I'm turning my resignation, we're selling our house, and as soon as our house sells, then we're gonna move out of town, and that's when I won't be available.
Yeah.
At least they're giving you some fair warning. I don't know that there's any. I was trying to think of a reason why you would want somebody to leave immediately, unless there was some.
well, if they were really pissed off and that's why they wanted to resign, why would you want them still on the board for?
And again, I think that if they wanted to just resign then they can resign, it's not saying that they have to stay.
Well, that's true,
They could just stay, they could say, I'm resigning and it's effective today,
Yeah.
or it's effective in 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
You
The
know, unless
only,
it's a big controversy and I don't know.
yeah. As I read through this, the only question I had, and I've gotta believe it's probably happened, is what can or do we do with the person who just stops coming to meetings? And won't answer
doesn't bother to
email.
resign,
Right.
If they're appointed, then you can not re-up their appointment slip. If they're elected,
We have nothing.
there is no,
Yeah.
no power to unseat them, so to speak.
Yep.
Unless there's some kind of malfeasance.
Right. And as I understand it anyway, there is nothing that can be done by anyone.
Yeah.
Except the voters ultimately.
Right.
At the next election
Right.
cycle.
But that's not considered like a dereliction of duty, just not showing up.
Well,
I mean,
It
it
may.
is a dereliction of duty, but you
But I
can't do
think
anything
Isn't
about it.
that means to
think,
give them the boot?
No, actually,
Not if
so
elected.
malfeasance is, I think, the only thing that's talked about in the RSA. And first of all, try to define malfeasance, but second of all, try to prove malfeasance. It's, I don't think it's been done very often in the state. It's such a difficult thing to,
It just seems kinda weird, you run and then not show up.
Agreed.
You don't show up, what's the purpose?
well, so I was thinking more the scenario where somebody runs, wins, shows up, gets into a whatever disagreement, an argument, you know, and then just says, well, I'm not coming anymore. But won't answer their phone, won't answer their emails, you know,
Well, so what would happen, okay, let's just for a second, okay, so say there's 3 of us
yep,
and one of us decides to just walk off the job.
Yep.
So is two a quorum?
Yes.
We could still function or no?
Yes,
Cal
Yes.
is you're shaking your
I
head.
was shaking my head at Calvin because he was making a face like he was joking about resigning.
Oh. No,
yes, you
so-
can operate with a board of two.
So if you have an elected board and somebody decides not to show up,
Correct.
but you're still a quorum, you can still
Correct.
function, and so
Right.
what?
Yes.
At least he's not there causing, he or she, they're causing trouble.
Right,
Yeah.
or somebody could have an illness, sudden
Well,
onset of
that's true
illness
too.
and not be able to fulfill the duties, in which case you hope they would resign.
Yeah.
So I guess ultimately it doesn't affect the quorum,
That's the thing,
Yeah,
that's what it ultimates.
yeah.
So,
yeah,
I'm not
that's
sure as far as the second part, of that question. Do you allow somebody to give a specific date? Or do you say, no, if you're gonna resign, it's effective immediately and you're done? I don't know.
to me, it's confusing to have a future date may not be specified, it's either immediate upon receipt, or they can, future date like, but a specific date, like
And that's. right,
upon
that's-
sale of the house, but
yeah.
that last line to me is confusing, future date may not be specified, because at the moment, we've got two choices already.
It's either or,
Yeah,
so
Right.
no, like
Right.
it's the first line or the second line, like we're crossing out one of them.
Right, but I would think
Yeah.
always a future date would be preferable. I'm resigning with a month's notice,
Well,
let's say,
that's
you
kind of where I came from.
Yeah,
The only reason that NHMA recommended not allowing a future date was because of people in boards saying, that's it, I'm done, I quit, and then walking out, and
Yeah.
then coming back and
Right.
saying, oh, you know what,
I
never
gotta
mind.
resign,
Or saying like, yeah, I'm gonna be done in 2 weeks, but then they change their mind.
Yeah.
And then in 2 weeks, they say, actually, no, I'm not done, but you've been preparing somebody else, or
Yeah.
then you have an issue.
but if you worded it such that all resignations must be in writing, so they can't just storm out.
You can't actually require that, this
Oh, you
is,
can't?
this is recommendation. This is the policy.
so I have
Well, it
lived
says
that.
it should be written in, shall
Should
be.
is not shall.
Should, not shall.
This says right here, shall, procedure, resignation shall be
Well,
submitted in writing.
This also goes back to the other thing that's highlighted, which is applies to all elected and appointed officials. I highlighted that because it can apply to appointed officials, but elected,
You can't
Everywhere you
force
put
them,
shall.
you can't force an elected person to do anything.
You can't hold them prisoner.
You can't force them, but if they are choosing to resign, they shall submit it in writing.
well, that's where the shall versus the
Should.
should.
Okay,
So for elected ones, everywhere it says shall can only be a should, but for the appointed ones, you can't use shall.
But what about all the people that say, I'm done, I'm done doing this, I quit, and they don't put it in writing? You know how many times we've heard that on boards or committees, and how do you take it seriously and say, okay, you're done, see you later?
Well, that's why we have the verbal resignation piece of it,
well,
so it
writing
can
is
be
prefer-
done
okay, hold on.
during a public meeting. The resignation should be documented in the meeting minutes and confirmed in writing when possible.
Oh, so if they storm and they say I quit, and then everybody in the board says, okay, you really mean this? Okay, it's in the minutes, he quits, we agree, gone, that suffices?
I mean, if
That's
they
what it
come,
sounds
if they
like.
come back and change their minds, like,
Especially
it's-
an elected
if it's an
position.
elected position, yeah, like if it's a planning board member says I quit and walks out, but then 2 weeks later shows up to the next planning board meeting,
I lost my temper, I didn't really need to resign.
so this whole
But
thing is
then what's then verbal then why is this even here, if that's not the case?
Well, it's basically, it can be a verbal, it can be, I'm resigning, I'm done, I'm leaving, and you never hear from them again.
Right.
That's sufficient. They don't have to give a written resignation, a verbal one is accepted.
But this doesn't have the second part of it, which is, okay, I walk out the door, I quit, you accept my resignation, and 2 weeks later I show up again. Shouldn't this say like, okay, if you verbally quit and walk out the door, that's it,
Well,
that's a.
I don't too.
I don't know how you can enforce that.
Right, I don't think it can
I don't
say
think you can
that.
enforce that.
I think
then
this is-
verbal resignation shouldn't be allowed because it doesn't make any sense, it's
No,
both
I-
sides,
No,
but.
because
Yeah.
they can say it,
Right.
and that's acceptable.
Right, and do,
Okay, so, okay,
just breathe.
it's the, it's the coming back in part that you
Yeah.
can't prevent that.
You can't.
You
Human
can't prevent
nature.
it, alright, so if we can't prevent that, then I'll stop worrying about it, because it seems like we should be able to. But, if you're telling me we can't,
So you're saying I can quit committees? If I just walk in, like, I'm done with this? Just kidding, I'll be back next month.
Not
put your
you.
hand down.
You can't do that,
Put
you
your
can't.
hand down. You
I
don't
like
get
this
that
new rule.
option, we vote, right?
Because that's the
We
only
vote that
tricky
you
part
can't
is,
do that.
well, I mean, that's the tricky part is you go to all these, subcommittees or appointed stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I can count on two hands the amount of times I've heard people in meetings say, I'm done with this, like after a meeting, I'm done,
Yeah,
I quit,
I don't need
see you
this.
later.
Yeah.
And then it's like, the next meeting, they're back in their chair,
Yeah.
so is that something you just take for face value unless it's written in the minutes?
Well, I
It's
think
just
at
you're
the
saying.
time, if someone says that, it's up to the chair to recognize that and say,
Do you
okay,
really mean that?
so we
Okay.
have a policy that says, if you are resigning, that's
In a public
fine,
meeting.
you're resigning, it's a public meeting, we're gonna put it in the minutes, and that's it.
And we don't wanna see you again.
And if they come back a week later and say, geez, I lost my temper, I'm sorry, I was having a bad day. I think we have to have some flexibility there
Well, and I
also.
guess that would be up to the committee
I
too,
think so
correct?
too.
Because
I
the
would-
committee could say, no,
Well,
sorry,
on
you
an
resigned, we
appointed-
don't want
In
you.
an appointed committee, it would really be up to you guys.
Right.
To make the decision.
Elected, I think, is a whole different set of.
Yeah,
rules.
yeah,
It
yeah.
just makes it weird to enforce,
Agreed.
just kidding.
Yeah, right,
like,
yeah,
Yeah, and this was one of the ones that our auditors said we should have. I went back and forth. I had some of the same issues with it. But again, I got this from a different municipality, so.
so I will tell you that I had a guy resign in writing, attempted to rescind the resignation, we said no, he sued us and lost, so.
Is this something, even though you found it from another municipality, that it would be worth having somebody eyeball to say, okay,
I
what
could
does
certainly
this,
send it to our attorneys.
what does this really mean?
Yeah.
How does this actually work?
And my guess is, if we send it to our attorney, they'll come back and they'll say, yep, that's great, except this isn't enforceable, this is not enforceable, it's not enforceable for a elected official, they can come back the following week and say, geez, I lost my cool. They'll probably come back and say the same things you guys have said.
Okay, so even if it's not enforceable, and even if we go into this knowing it's not enforceable, does it satisfy the auditors?
I
who
would
want
assume
this?
so. I can run it by them and say, what do you guys think?
but why have a policy that's not enforceable
I know,
or
it just-
followable, it's just a waste of a piece
Well,
of
it
paper.
is enforceable to a certain
To a
extent
certain
for
extent.
appointed officials.
Alright,
And it gives a
benchmark.
a standard operating procedure or something like that hopefully somebody you can point to and say, well, geez, we have a policy. And, if it comes down, push to shove, then maybe it's not enforceable, but maybe it is.
I mean, I think perhaps anybody who's,
I try to look at it from the positive of saying to people, if you're gonna get done, this is how you do it.
yeah,
And it's more of a guideline for somebody that wants to resign, that their term limit hasn't expired and they want to resign for whatever reason. They're moving out of town,
Yeah,
they're got a
illness
health
in the
issue,
family, yeah,
something is going on that they wanna resign, how do I resign from this committee? I would try to look at it from a positive than a negative.
I think that's a good way to do it, and then it's there, and if anybody's going to be hot-headed enough
And
to
If there's,
to storm out in the middle of a meeting, that's a whole nother, but that's not the bulk of people who want to
Right,
resign, so that you deal with it when we get to it, so, okay. Okay.
alright.
So I guess as far as the effective date, what would you like to put on there? Effective immediately, or you can give us a date in the future?
I think a future date is okay. you know, I think of the scenario of somebody selling their house.
Yeah.
Is the one that we're.
I don't know why you can't really have both. Somebody says, I need to resign right now,
Well, they
and you
can.
let them.
Yeah.
They can,
Or
just because you have.
They can say, I'm giving you a heads up, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it in 2 weeks,
Yeah,
but
but-
they should know that they're gonna be on the job until they,
But it's a either or question.
Can it just
Either
say,
they can resign immediately
Or,
or give us a date.
correct, so both those things need to be in there.
Right, we're just
But-
getting rid of the third line.
Yes,
right,
Right. The one that says,
Yes.
a
if you
future date
resign,
may
you
not
have
be
to resign
specified.
today.
yeah, which you don't necessarily even want
So
people to do.
confused. Okay.
Alright, anything else we need to decide on that?
And then what is this double asterisk?
That's a
at the
to-do
bottom?
item for me.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
So I'll clean this up.
Okay, sounds good,
Okay, thank you. Thank you for,
alright.
cause you did all the legwork.
Alright, so we're through that, new business, anything else?
Select board representative reports, nothing else on the new business.
Okay, alright,
That I have.
Thank you for letting me know that they were going to be on the agenda, it's bold, I
Right.
knew, I prepared.
alright, so old business really we took care of, right? We got the police chief
Yes.
contract, Packer updates done, new highway truck updates done, so.
Oh, wait a minute, are we gonna look at the profit and loss at all? You
yes.
just said,
Get that. You just get that every month.
Yeah.
okay, I know,
Yeah.
did we have any discussion about it?
The only thing is, there's some lines in there that are over.
Yep.
Again,
Miscellaneous?
as I usually ask you, take a look at it.
Right.
If there's something that concerns you, I can fill in details at some point.
Okay,
But probably just to shoot me an email is the easiest way, and then I can get.
you want an email? Okay, cause I've got
Yeah.
4 items and I'll,
Yeah.
one of them just says UGG and I'm sure you can tell which one that is. Equipment repair,
Yeah,
Yes.
well, for all of us.
that's all, just by
Yeah.
comment, UGG.
Yeah, it's an element.
Yeah, that's an ongoing one, sorry.
Right.
Okay.
Not much we can do about it,
Okay,
unfortunately.
then I will
Yeah,
send you an email about that, this is ours.
alright, so select board rep reports, how about All Star, cause I've only got the tricentennial committee these days.
Oh, okay,
So, as I think Beth knows at least, the wearables store is open again. So there's a link on the Facebook page. And I believe on the Tricentennial Committee website as well.
which is, you get to through the historical society.
Correct.
Yeah.
Challenge coins are in, I understand they're selling briskly. And then, you know, they're proceeding with the epic film on Canterbury history.
It's quite the process, this thing is going to be
I
amazing.
think it is too, so, and there's a lot of other things that are just in the works,
Yeah.
so,
The quilting people are quilting up a storm.
exactly. So, and that's really all I can think of.
how come they use a store instead of like local people for the apparel? Like you got the Mishnos, who could probably make a lot of it in town on demand versus
I think that's how the store is doing it.
It's
Okay,
Chichester, it's over,
oh, it's over there,
Shirt Masters in Chichester,
wasn't
we've
sure
used
if
them
it was-
before.
cause like
No.
sports stores, they always open them for 2 weeks and get about lovely stuff for your children,
Right.
but it opens like 3 times a year.
Right, yeah,
Well, and the thing of what's nice about over at Shirt Masters is that you can make it a fundraiser and then you can say, okay, this is what the shirt costs. We wanna add an extra $4 a
Yeah.
shirt, they keep them, and they write you a check at the end for your,
And that all goes back to the
yeah, that all goes back to the
general fund or
tricentennial,
whatever they
yeah.
do.
And they, I mean, they can do the volume, they've got the orders, they've got like 20 different colors, sizes, shapes, whatever you want, so.
That's how you pay Spielberg's
yeah, exactly,
salary.
that's it.
Yeah.
Alright, who wants to go next, Beth?
Sure, Calvin, you wanna go next?
I can go next.
Alright,
Let's take a walk down the Ag Commission.
Okay,
Last month, they had a couple students from UNH come and do a demonstration on environmental, it's pretty much over environmental economics and the impact of solar. They're doing a project, they were just trying to reach out and talk to farmers or people.
Oh.
Pretty simple, they went over who's on the board, who's not on the board, who might be on the board, appointments, kept it pretty simple. I don't think anybody showed up, I guess Mark Stevens did, for the all boards meeting, he
Yes.
zoomed in.
He
but
did.
He stepped down, he's no longer the chair.
Right.
I think they're in chair limbo right now, they didn't vote for a new one, as well as the current vice chair hasn't been to any meetings.
Well, it hasn't come in to sign,
So we're kind of like ag committee purgatory right now.
Yeah. So I think that certainly the select board, since we appoint the members of the ag commission, we need to be informed as to who's running things.
I mean, Mark said he's not the chair anymore, but he had a lot of things to say that he wanted the ag commission to be responsible for, have input on, a lot of it, you know, regarding zoning, that sort of stuff, planning and zoning. And
But Mark can't speak for the ag commission anymore.
no, and I think that, I don't know if it comes down to us, if we need to do sort of a, not a solid waste committee, but say, hey, we need a mission statement, what are we doing here? Like, what are our goals and what are we trying to achieve or
well,
what are
a
we
mission
doing?
statement and they, you know, the talk I had with Mark is, I mean, they seemed very surprised, like, what do you mean, a mission statement? Or, yes, we have a mission statement, it's like, I don't see a mission statement,
I
so,
mean, I've only been to, they've only held 3 meetings in the last year and a half. And it kind of, each one sort of bounced around a little bit, like one meeting was tricentennial centric on trees. And who was gonna get them and who was gonna plant them.
Yeah.
And this last meeting seemed to be very planning related.
Hmm.
You know, so it's just trying to determine, what is the purpose of this group? Are you guys a, you know, educational information? Scott wants to be a cucumber farmer, who do I go to talk about cucumbers and what's the
Right.
best variety? Or you're
Yeah.
trying to be a zoning liaison and you want your input for X, Y, and Z, so I think maybe it would benefit the group once they get new leadership to kind of figure out which way they wanna sail the ship and,
Yeah.
you know, I guess get it in writing.
Yeah, yeah, because I certainly always prefer to get a committee's input rather than one person.
Yeah, and I think it's also important if we understand the direction they're going, you know, if, you know, Mark made a lot of references to planning and zoning and ag and clusters, and it's like, well, if you want to have that reach, come to some meetings, or we can get you on agendas and you can be a part of the process, or, you know, you can give us our input, like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well-
not a mind reader, so I can't figure out what to approach people for or not, especially when it's not a mission statement. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what your jurisdiction or reach is, so it's hard to include you if I'm kind of
Right, and I
not aware.
think certainly at any public meeting, you know, a person could come and identify themselves as a member of the ag commission and give a public statement, but
but then they're not really speaking for the commission. So I was, you know, when I read the email we got today that, you know, Eric, who was elected vice chair, because he wasn't there, he still is technically vice chair, and Mark has stepped down and Nicole is not yet a member, and so there's no one to call the next meeting. So how do they proceed if they can't actually call a meeting?
I'm
and
not
function?
sure, but I mean, planning board last week, we sent it out to the ad commission if they wanted to come regarding Steve Cochran, which I'll get into after.
Okay.
And Jill and Damon showed up,
Yeah,
so I don't know if they're taking over the leadership. I know Mark also alluded that Ben might be moving back to town and that he could
Yeah.
slip into that role, but you can wish and want, like, it's hard to, you can't leave the ship adrift and try to get it to port, you know, like I don't know, they just seem to, maybe if we reach out to Mark and see if he can sort of nudge it along to get new
well,
leadership.
there are members, correct? So can we just send an email as from the board to the entire membership and say, okay, we would like you to figure out if you're going to be a committee or not. If you are, you know, where's your mission statement and who's your chair? And can you let us know by September, your September meeting, because They either need to be something or
And
not
who
be
the
something.
members are.
Yeah,
I guess is, cause we appoint them, correct?
so,
Yeah, 'cause I
I mean,
think-
you must have a member list.
Well, I think
Those are-
right now, I wrote it down because we were going through it, I think Josh, we reappointed him last
Last
meeting.
meeting, yeah.
Nicole's an alternate, who wasn't present, Katie, I believe, is an alternate, but she wasn't there. And then, I think Jesse's an alternate now,
Okay,
so, I mean, you still have Damon and Jill. And Mark is still on the committee, but he's no longer in a leadership role. So I just,
So we've got enough people to, but even though, Callie said Nicole hasn't gotten access to her email, so how do we even contact her as a committee member?
guess we gotta go knock on her door.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know, and that sort of thing is like, it sort of walks hand in hand with the resignation policy, it's like, we have members, but if they don't partake, are you an active member of the committee? Is it taking up a seat of somebody who wants to partake, or, you know, and it's not a knock on them, lives are busy, I
no,
totally
that's,
understand.
yeah,
No, but if you're going to have a committee and you're going to bother about it at all, okay, fine, so you send them an email and say, are you on this committee or not?
Well, and it meets so infrequently, it's not you're
Yeah.
talking quarterly, maybe, usually it's twice a year.
yeah,
But they should, they get a little slighted if they're not invited to things, but it's kind of hard to invite a ghost, kind of a
Right.
ghost committee.
Right.
So I think we need to just say, okay, come up with a mission statement,
Right.
decide what you're gonna do, come up with some
Well,
leadership and let us
right, and
know, don't you
I
think?
think we just have to be careful about overreach as well,
Yeah,
Our overreach?
their overreach.
Oh, well, we don't know what it is unless they say what their mission statement is.
Well, right, but I guess my point is we have to agree that that's something, the Ag Commission, I disagree that they should have had a say in the sign policy here
Oh,
in
yeah.
town.
That doesn't mean they couldn't be miffed about it.
I mean, is this something that we just write a mission statement for the Ag Commission and say, hey, this is what we want it to be, you can adhere, or if it doesn't,
I think since we appoint the members, that we would be within our rights to do that.
I mean, I just think it simplifies and sort of expedites rather than back and forth, especially with the infrequency of the meetings. I mean, I don't wanna, and they can amend it, but just say, hey, this is the guidelines, this is what.
I guess we can say, I'm not sure I'd come down and say, this is what we want you to do as much as, this is what our vision of the Ag Commission is, do you agree or not? And if you don't, you gotta weigh in, because otherwise, this is your mission.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
So
certainly
give them
rather
an
work with
opportunity.
them
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
for
than to
sure, yeah.
dictate,
I think it could be a very useful committee, we just
Yeah.
kinda have
Yeah.
to figure out how they see themselves being used and how they want us to use them.
and how do I mean, I don't know, actually, I've never really thought about it or looked at it, how Ag Commissions in other towns work. I don't know.
My assumption would probably depend on how much ag is actually actively going on, and
Yeah.
that would really determine sort of what they do.
Maybe if they can identify the leaders, those leaders could come meet with us at a select board.
The town of Boston has a very active agricultural commission.
Yeah.
Very well organized, very active. Maybe helpful to have some kind of outreach or something from them to Canterbury to say, hey, you seem a little
You're
disorganized.
floating,
yeah.
you're kind of
You seem a
floating.
little disorganized, or this is what we do, I don't know
I like that idea,
how, something like that.
some guidance,
Yeah.
I think would be very helpful.
Yeah, cause we have a lot of resources in town and very intelligent people in the industry,
Yeah.
so it.
Well, and I know, Mark had said, when Wayne Mann was chair and they did a lot more at like the state level. It seemed not so much locally, but they did, bills and this and that and the other thing, but not,
I mean, the 3 meetings I've attended have kind of been scattershot.
Yeah.
One meeting really was on who was a farm in town and how do we define a farm? Another meeting,
Right.
like I said, was tricentennial trio. This previous meeting was going over state legislation that passed that could have effect on farms.
Yeah.
Planning and zoning, so it's like, it's kind of scattershot, I think it's all important stuff. But I
Yeah,
think if we can zero it in and figure out, does the town want input from this committee on this, or where do we feel it's
yeah,
insightful?
so what do you think the next best step is to get them not so floaty and more organized?
Come down firm, I mean, you gotta reel them in, I guess, a little bit, we gotta figure out who's gonna be an active member, who's not. If it's 1 or 2 people, well, then we have to work with that. I think we need to figure out what we as town officials want that committee to fulfill. not necessarily write their mission statement for them, but say, hey, we see the Ag Commission being blank, 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 you know, can you,
So where are we, we're in May, so like, at the second meeting in June, do we all wanna come in with an idea of what we think an ag commission should be and go from there?
I mean, I'm sure I can pull mission statements from other towns that are more
Yeah.
ag centric
Well, it
versus
was-
And
not.
Bosquen?
Bosquen being,
Yeah,
it sounds like,
and I'm sure Josh knows, doesn't he have his pumpkin farm over in Bosquen? Isn't that where his family's farm is, right over there?
I think so.
So he might even know most of those people and
he probably does.
Alright, well, good.
so. Yeah, I mean, they're still meeting and active, I think we just need to kind of
Agreed.
corral a little bit and then figure out how we can work
Yeah.
best with each other and satisfy everybody's needs for the committee.
Yeah,
So yeah, rec committee, nothing, waiting until soccer.
yeah,
And then planning board has been, planning board, last meeting they approved a subdivision on Foster for Julian. And Steve Cochran came in about a possible zoning amendment to his land on exit 18.
I thought that was a really good discussion.
Oh yeah, you're on the Zoom.
I zoomed, I'm not sure how it's going to go, but I think there was a lot of good discussion from everybody in the room about what it could mean.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely a variety of perspective.
Mm.
And I think it'll hammer itself out through the summer. I think, you know, talking with Brendan and the rest of the board, I think you kind of need to digest it and figure out what's pursuable and what's not, what's feasible with that lot, considering it's got already 3 different zones
Yeah.
on it. You know, what makes more sense for the town? Is it a town matter or is it a warrant article? So,
And what makes more sense for Steve as well, because his concern is what his grandchildren can do with
Right.
it. And you know, you listen to some of the members and they seem to think, well, you can still do a lot with it.
Right.
There's no need to do anything, but you know, that there's a difference of opinion there, so.
and I think Brendan brought up the table of uses to review the
Yeah.
table of uses, see what you think potentially would fit, you know, your family's potential needs and are you in it or not, and then we can sort of address the way to, you know, the best way to look at this. It's just a tricky lot with that easement over from the state.
Yeah,
Plus it kind of looks like it was spot zoned originally, so it's just a weird spot.
Yeah.
I think they're definitely interested in working with it and figuring it out.
Good.
in depth.
yeah.
no, it was a good discussion, I thought.
I'm trying to think, and then that was it. And there's no meeting next week.
Yeah, I got that email, yeah. Yeah,
Didn't say why, just,
There's nothing on the agenda.
Oh.
They don't have any,
which happens.
yeah, there's no
Okay.
hearings or anything coming up, so we're just gonna continue
no,
working
my
on.
meeting's been canceled, come on.
Oh. You
Alright.
go getters.
Alright,
But I think they're just gonna continue to look at the Fletcher subdivision over the course of the summer and
Yeah.
get it ready before warrant articles.
Yeah,
good. Okay, Conservation Commission, chugging right along as always, they reminded everybody to come to the Right to Know training. They reported on the All Land Boards meeting, they are going to weigh in on, their recommendation for the change in vernal pools in the wetlands ordinance. Was just a minor, they wanna take out one designation that says, a size of them and just say, you know, vernal pools, but they're gonna follow up on that. They did talk a lot about knotweed at the transfer station. I know Kelly has gone back and forth with Ken and has some suggestions, they're going to have an ongoing, they may very well have an educational event for the town in general, for people who are new to town or just have, a lot of people who are here don't know anything about knotweed. You know, just the basics, like don't cut it and then, you know, spread it everywhere.
mow it.
Yeah, don't mow it and then mow someplace else or, you know,
Yeah.
any of those.
It was an interesting, it's a website, the person that sent the letter to the Conservation Commission
Oh, yeah,
about land stewardship. You gave me the letter. It was someone, telling the Conservation Commission what they could do to help out.
oh, yeah,
I actually went online and was looking at his website and found another one from, I believe it was the Newburyport or Salisbury, Mass. And this person is I would call him an expert in knotweed. They started, they were working in Vermont from the floods, and it found that floods are a big spreader of knotweed.
I don't doubt it, yeah.
Yeah, and this website is interesting, so, I was actually thinking of contacting him and talking to this guy, and see what he says.
Yeah, well, we spent a lot of time at that meeting talking about knotweed.
Yeah.
And how to pursue it and how to not, and how to help the town, and should, you know, the town work together with the Conservation Commission, or how this could work, but at the very least, having some sort of educational event so people in town don't know how to spread it any more than it's already
Yeah,
spreading.
and this guy said, I thought that the state and the feds would be looking at this and working on it, it'd be something, there'd be all sorts of information. He said there wasn't.
Yeah.
So he educated himself in all
Yeah.
of this.
Well, there's like a webinar out there, and they were like, yeah, we could do like we did for the button-up thing for the Energy Committee, have it here, and Kelly was like, it's not a very good webinar. So, I think they wanna do their own thing, but that's the thing. They, as usual, have enough, extensive update on conservation, outreach to the community, about, you know, properties that might be of interest, and, you know, who to talk to who, and who might be interested. All the co-occurrence maps are updating so that we can see which conservation lots in town are the most valuable, which, if they came up, would be ones that they would want to pursue. Audra gave her report on Umerlac, Upper Merrimack River. They went and toured the Franklin wastewater treatment plant. She said it was very interesting. That was cool. And the Concord Conservation Commission is going to come and attend a June meeting to just see what conservation projects Canterbury and Concord might have in common, what kind of goals, so they're gonna come. Another work party is being still at the Robert S. Fife Conservation Area, brush piles.
No.
Making a big dent in the bittersweet. Bluebird boxes have been repaired and need to be put out, and that's it for them, always chugging along. Energy Committee, they had a new person came who was interested, so we might have a new member, which would be great. I sent you all the slides and the video, I think, from the Sea Pacer event that was back on April 26th. So the committee really supports the whole Sea Pacer thing. The upshot of that whole seminar was they are working really hard to make it incredibly easy for towns to do it, even such that if you had to file anything with the state, you know, you could have it, palm that off onto one of their lawyers who would do it for the town at no additional charge. So you wouldn't have to go to the registry of deeds or anything like that. To me, and this is just personal, it made it sound so easy, I almost didn't trust it, but I still would like to see other towns use it first and see how it actually works. But if you have a minute to, the thing is just not very long, the slides are pretty clear. It seems, I mean, they know what they're doing, they really wanna make it easy for towns. I still don't know how useful it is for Canterbury, but the committee really supports it, so you know. We did bring up the energy audit at the Muni Center. I expressed Ken's frustration, and the committee itself was also very frustrated with Turn Cycle and their lack of follow-up or being able to help. So Beth McGuinn is going to try calling a contact that she has at Resilient Energy, and the goal is really to get a solid excuse me, cost for a level 3 audit before doing anything. And, you know, and I guess Resilient will work with Unitil, if Unitil's the only person to work with. It seemed a little hard to get the answer about any independent audit companies that might be out there that we could talk to. But they're going to pursue that and hopefully not bother you any more than, you know, they don't wanna bother you if they don't have to. But they're gonna try that. And there was also a discussion in the middle of that about the energy audit about assessing the roof of the municipal center for future solar. Because the discussion about leaks keeps coming up. And apparently, according to Beth McGuinn, if you do talk to a solar company, they will actually assess the roof. But she wasn't, you know, to see if the leaks are a problem or if they can do anything about it. but that's to be discussed further. But they wanna pursue that because they would like to get more solar in town. Update on the battery storage workshop and a municipal letter, no incentives in New Hampshire at this time. So that was kind of a bust, good information, but not for us. And the committee is going to reach out to Brendan and the planning board to see if it's useful for the energy committee to come in and talk about solar friendly ordinances, if there's anything else to be done. That they're going to arrange that, they haven't done it yet. And we did talk, and I don't think I brought this up last time, about they would like to form a subcommittee. We discussed forming a subcommittee to come up with a plan for maintaining the solar arrays that we have, the one at the municipal center here. And actually, I have a question which is kind of aside from this is, I know Herb was gonna work with Jim Snyder this spring to adjust them. I know that hasn't happened, I don't know how it will happen now with Herb's current health concerns, but I don't know if he ever talked to Jim. And Fred said, I said, Fred, you know, you're part of this, he said, nobody ever talked to me. He's willing to help, but that part of it, the adjusting of the panels, that I thought Herb and Jim Snyder were going to attend to, has never happened. So, I know they were greasing the,
Herb is going to be able to do some administrative work at the fire station.
Yeah.
I can contact him and ask for updates on that.
maybe, yeah, if he wants to somehow contact Jim, and Fred Portnoy said he would be willing to help. If they need more bodies, I would be willing to help, and the gentleman who came to check out the committee, Keith Brown, said he would be willing to help if there was a group.
Cool. How old are those panels?
Oh, they're
2005?
almost, I was gonna say 10 years. I think we,
There's a
If we
plaque on,
did-
what's the plaque? I thought it was 2005. That seems too far back.
yeah, it was,
So I mean, if they're that old.
so I think
So
they're
2005 is the municipal center, I'm
I think
getting
they're-
confused.
13 or 14.
So then it's more like
15 years old.
2015.
Tyson Miller was on the board of
Yeah,
selectmen,
yeah.
so I think it was like 14 years ago.
Okay.
17 years ago.
Just curious, aren't those sort of at the end of their?
The panels,
done.
not so much, but again, when I talked to Fred, I mean, and the problem is that the company that was going to be maintaining them like doesn't exist and doesn't. But there are ways to find other people, and there are ways to figure out, you know, what I said to Fred when I talked to him at the end of the battery, this is when we had the discussion at the end of the battery storage workshop. Is there a way to figure out if those inverters are still good, if they're not good, can they be replaced, if they need to be replaced, how expensive is that? He said, yes, all of that can be figured out, that's what this subcommittee would do. How
Cause
do
it's
we-
just curious, cause like those panels, you figure 10 years ago, panels were 240. Now they're in the 400s, same square footage.
Yes.
So the potential that you could
Yeah.
make that far more productive with a simple upgrade.
But at least we could make it as productive as it could be, and it could be a lot more productive just adjusting the angle, so.
And identify, I don't know if they have the apps that track all the solar, like everybody, like on our house, I just click an app and it tells me how much power each panel's
Oh, yeah.
putting out per day.
Well, you're
So we-
checking everything now.
We, once a month, we get our readings off our inverters, and that's how we, submit our RECs for reimbursements.
Yeah.
I believe all the hardware was purchased, so to make it easy to adjust them. Pretty sure it was all purchased, and I think it was installed.
Yeah, well,
But
we
then-
heard kept saying all they need to do is be greased up, and Jim was saying that too, and then
Right.
adjusted
So they tilted, yeah, it's just
the
a
brackets,
tilt
and you
thing.
could get like 20% gain.
Yes.
Yeah, you
by
adjust
doing
it
it.
twice a year
Yeah.
at a different angle.
Well, they did one at the municipal building as a test one. Right.
Yeah,
And, they're gonna,
so Fred is willing to pursue that with Jim and perhaps this Keith Brent, or you know,
Okay.
whoever else, and maybe Jeremy would be willing to
Right.
work on that subcommittee.
I'll check with Herb and see where we're at with
Okay.
that, and let him know.
So step one would be just adjusting what we've got, and step two would be coming up with the maintenance plan, and like, who do you call if something goes sideways and Jim isn't available?
Right.
So that's that. And that's all on the energy committee. Oh no, they're also planning 2 workshops Eversource does have a battery incentive for residential. And then they wanna do one for energy efficiency for residents, like what do I do in my house that helps me save money? So that's planning for future. Community power, we're going to come up with a way to inform the people who signed up for solar during this whole solarized Canterbury thing that was back in like 2018. How to sell their RECs, because I was part of
Right, I
that.
remember,
I never
yeah.
realized that was a thing. I didn't even know I could do it. So I'm going to figure out how to do it. Andrew Hatch from Community Power Consortium of New Hampshire said he would talk with me and help me figure out the best way to do it step by step. And then Community Power Consortium will actually buy the RECs and retire them. So they can't get like sold to coal producing plants or anything like that. So that's something that's in their future plans. Doesn't really matter to Canterbury, but the Poverty Plains 5 megawatt display up in Warner, array in Warner is almost ready to go online. Community Power New Hampshire is investigating peak shaving, so they're trying to figure out how you can sign up for this alert system, and during peak times, you know, if you're on the alert system, they'll send you a text and you can turn off your air conditioner and help lessen the load, so their deal is they don't want these extra low efficiency peaker plants coming on, so they're working on that. Edgar and Beth went to the annual meeting. It was voted there that towns could be able to appoint a second alternate. So we could have Beth and Edgar and another person, so that if the best opportunity to have somebody attend their meetings. So we were hopeful that we can maybe find another volunteer on the committee who would want to be that person. Edgar is going to be on the audit committee, which will be great, and you start in July, you said, right? The next meeting. So, and Beth is still going to be on the projects and programs committee, so we're finding out about all that. 5 families showed up to the Bring Your Own Bills session, which was great. One of the couples who showed up who were very concerned about their bills, when they actually figured out what the difference would be in their bill if they opted out, it was going to be $7 a month. So they said, not worth it. To some people it would be, which we decided, but to them, they said no. One person who came in was up on a higher renewable, supporting renewable energies, and she opted down, but she opted down to the Canterbury Basic because she still wanted to support Canterbury with her little adder. So they wanna do more of those events, and may actually show up at the farmer's market with a table so that people can learn more about the committee and learn more about community power in general. And I got hard copies of the annual report. Party favors, party favors,
Thank you.
party favors. And it's posted on the website as well.
Very good.
Anything I left out, Edgar? And our minutes are posted officially, our draft minutes. And that's it for my committees.
Alright.
HDC, my bad.
Oh, HCC.
Wicked simple. We approved Meeting House repairs at Shaker Village, East House repairs, and Brethren Shop repairs. And they approved the windows and roof at the Crofton's house. And gave Sam a waiver for tree removal. And then we heard the Soika's conceptual for the ADA granite ramp at the church.
Yeah.
So, was that?
HCC had to approve Sam's tree removal, that giant oak?
Yes, it was a maple.
Maple, pardon me, maple?
Yes,
That
because
was a
it was included, the town voted to put his house in the HD, the
Right.
historic district a couple
So
years ago.
even cutting that, oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they heard that and I think you removed a handful of trees, but we approved that, fast tracked it because
Yeah,
the,
that was
the
a-
house.
Big tree.
That was so big,
Yeah. Huh.
So,
okay,
and then I
Yeah.
think there's a hearing this week, next week. They've got a hearing for a couple things, but nothing major.
okay,
Okay.
good.
Alright, what else we got?
The only other thing, I have 2 things. One, we're getting paint brushes and materials to paint the Department of Corrections is supplying labor to paint the municipal building. The clapboard's appealing, and then this building, both sides,
Yeah.
the north and south side
The water,
appealing.
yeah.
So we're gonna have them do that, and then we have some interior trim at the Sand Lake House that needs some touching up.
Good, glad you were able to get that.
They gonna prime it this time?
Yes.
Do they do they just do, because when you look at this, I don't know if this needs paint or what, but this side of the building, those weird little brown drips that are everywhere, does that just need power washing?
That's, I'm gonna talk to
Okay.
the guy that's in charge and ask him what he recommends.
Because if just
I
painting
think
it
that's
would
what,
help.
the front, I think needs to be cleaned, power washed.
Yeah,
Sides need to be scraped and painted.
Okay.
But,
But this is hardy, right?
yes,
Yes, it is.
yes.
but he might say that this front also needs to be scraped and painted, right? Might.
Yeah.
Cause it just looks,
Hmm.
I'm doing the doors. Because I can't
Wanna come
stand the
paint my
doors
doors?
anymore, no, I don't wanna paint your doors, I wanna paint these doors.
Cal attended a cybersecurity, training session today.
Oh, yeah. I
Yep.
feel safer already.
Hopefully.
What was the town that was having all the issues, Cal?
It was the county, Hillsborough County.
Okay, that's right, Hillsborough County.
Hacks or
Ongoing ransomware problems, it was like a huge thing that took down like all of their systems, and they're still recovering from it. So they went through like why it happened and how to prevent it and all that interesting information.
Do we have to change any of what we're doing to?
I always come out of there with a long to-do list,
Okay.
so I will
Okay.
address those items,
Thank you,
yeah.
thank
And,
you.
I sufficiently embarrassed myself by, they had a list of like all the towns in New Hampshire that weren't participating in their programs.
Hmm.
And Canterbury was up there, and I was like, Canterbury's here.
Yeah,
I'm representing.
That,
we are
I
here.
probably should have just let it go.
No,
No,
Canterbury's
thank you,
here.
all
Come
around.
on, yeah, we're right here.
That's right. Alright, anything else?
I don't think so.
Otherwise, motion to adjourn.
I will second that,
All those in favor?
aye,
Aye.
thank you, as
We are
always.
adjourned.
And starting in June, we're back at 5,
No, July.
July.
Oh,
Do the second
July?
meeting of June, we can do it at 5.
Well, we should
Listen,
just do it for the whole
We're holding on to a
month.
small miracle that we might make the playoffs, so.
If we're gonna do
I
it,
just
do it for the whole
wanna
month.
keep the department heads
Yeah.
informed.